welcome back everyone for week 8 of the 2017 NFL season. I went 3-1 with my picks last week. We're knocking on the door of perfection. We're going to get it this time. Here are the picks. The first game we're going to look at has the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Vikings are 9.5-point favorites in this game, which is being played in London. So the Browns won't have a home field advantage in this game. Vikings backup quarterback Case Keenum could be playing his last game as the Vikings enter the bye following this game, and Teddy Bridgewater looks like he's ready to return. Keenum's played very well in place of Sam Bradford, and I think the Vikings will rally for him. He also gets back wide receiver Stephon Diggs, who's missed the last couple of games, giving the Vikings a deep threat. Defensively, the Cleveland Browns might be without Myles Garrett, the super stud rookie defensive lineman. He entered the league's concussion protocol on Tuesday. He may not make the trip. If he does, he could be limited. Minnesota has the 4th best defense in the league in terms of points allowed, and that might be too much for whichever scrub quarterback the Browns roll out this week. You know, all 3 games in London so far have been blowouts. As a matter of fact, the last 2 games have been shutouts, and the first game, I think the score was 44-0 at one point. So I expect the same thing here. 9.5 points doesn't scare me at all. Let's lay those points, and let's take my Minnesota Vikings minus 9.5. The second game we're going to look at has the Chicago Bears going to New Orleans, where the Saints are 9-point favorites at home. The Bears enter this game on a 2-game win streak, but it's been all defense for Chicago. Last week they had 2 defensive touchdowns of 75 yards. I don't think that's going to happen this week, especially against the New Orleans Saints team that plays so well at home. In those 2 games that the Bears have won, Mitch Trubisky, the rookie, has only completed 12 passes. Drew Brees might do that on one series of downs. I think what might happen here is the Saints will jump out into an early lead, and Chicago will have to abandon a pretty good run offense to try to keep up, and that's bad news for Chicago. I think the Saints will win this going away. You know, every year in this division in the NFC South is a different team. Last year was Atlanta. The year before that it was Carolina. I think this is the year that New Orleans runs away with this division. So 9 points in this situation is not too many points to lay. Let's lay those points. So let's take the New Orleans Saints minus 9. The third game we're going to look at has the Carolina Panthers going to Tampa, where the Bucs are 1.5-point favorites at home. Carolina has lost 2 games in a row entering this game. Last week they were very sloppy, as I mentioned earlier, against the Chicago Bears, but they do have a lot of weapons on offense, and Tampa Bay ranks 28th in the league defensively. The Panthers also get back linebacker Luke Kuechly, who's missed the last 2 games, both losses for the Panthers. Not a coincidence. He's the straw that stirs the drink defensively for that team. I realize that Tampa Bay beat Carolina twice last year, but those games were close. I believe the Bucs beat the Panthers by a combined 4 points. Before that, the Panthers had actually beaten the Bucs 6 straight games here. I think they're a much better team on both sides of the ball, and I think they will win this game, and you get a little bit of insurance. So let's take the Carolina Panthers plus 1.5. And the fourth game we're going to look at has the Los Angeles Chargers going to New England, where the Patriots are 7-point favorites at home. After starting the season with 4 straight losses, the Chargers have now won 3 straight. In their 4 losses, only one was by double digits. It was against Kansas City. In that game, Phillip Rivers threw 3 interceptions in the first 4 series. In the other 3 games, they lost by a combined 7 points, including only 2 against Philadelphia in their last loss. The Eagles are probably the best team in the league right now. The Patriots might be coming down from that game last week against Atlanta, the team that they had beaten in last year's Super Bowl. So they could be on a bit of a low. They've also lost their best defender. Dante Hightower is gone for the year. Phillip Rivers is one of the few quarterbacks that is not afraid of Tom Brady, and this game should be really close. The Chargers could actually win this game. I'm not going to go that far and saying that they will win this game, but that's a lot of points against Los Angeles Chargers team, I almost said San Diego, that's trending in the right direction. So let's take the points, and let's take the Los Angeles Chargers +7. Here's my Let's Take the Man's Money parlay play and my 6-game 6-point teaser play. For the parlay play, we'll take all 4 of the games I mentioned against the spread, except the Carolina game. Will get a little greedy and we'll take them on the money line. I do think they'll win that game, and it will pay us a little bit more. So a $25 bet will get us $373.57. And in my 6-game 6-point teaser play, we'll tease Minnesota to -3.5, Carolina to +7.5, New Orleans to -3. The LA Chargers, we'll tease them to +13. And we'll add Philadelphia at San Francisco. The Eagles are 12.5-point favorites in that game. We'll make them only 6.5-point favorites. And Houston is playing Seattle. We'll tease that number from Houston +5.5 to Houston +11.5. A $25 bet will get us $175. Good luck. Here are my straight-up plays for this week. Okay, and those are my picks for this week. Good luck to you. Don't forget to check us out on our Facebook page. Lots of great prognosticators there, making wonderful videos as well. And you can talk about anything relating to betting on football. Check out the link below. All right, for the Geo Knows YouTube channel, I am Geo. Let's take the man's money.